Today our topic is how to deal with change the Stoic way. Life is full of changes. Some changes are small, like the weather or your daily routine. Other changes are big, like losing a job, moving to a new city, or losing someone you love. Change can be hard because it often brings uncertainty, fear, and discomfort. But change is also a natural part of life. Nothing stays the same forever. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism can help us deal with change in a calm and wise way. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. It also teaches us to see change as an opportunity for growth, not just a problem to avoid. Let's explore how to deal with change the Stoic way. First, let's talk about what Stoicism is. Stoicism is a philosophy that started in ancient Greece and Rome. It was practiced by people like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. These philosophers believed that the key to a good life is not to avoid problems or seek constant pleasure, but to develop inner strength and wisdom. They believed that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This idea is very helpful when dealing with change because change is often outside of our control. For example, you cannot control if your company lays you off or if someone you love gets sick. But you can control how you react to these situations. You can choose to stay calm, think clearly, and take positive action. One important Stoic principle is to focus on what you can control. The Stoics called this the Dichotomy of Control. This means that some things are up to us, and some things are not. For example, you can control your actions, your thoughts, and your attitude. But you cannot control other people's actions, the weather, or the economy. When you face change, ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? If you lose your job, you cannot control the fact that you were laid off, but you can control how you respond. You can update your resume, look for new opportunities, and stay positive. If you focus on what you can control, you will feel more empowered and less stressed. Another Stoic principle is to accept what you cannot control. This does not mean you should give up or stop trying. It means you should stop fighting against reality. For example, if your relationship ends, you cannot change the fact that it is over. But you can accept it and focus on moving forward. Acceptance does not mean you have to like the situation. It means you stop wasting energy on things you cannot change. The Stoics believe that suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our resistance to them. When you accept change, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. Stoicism also teaches us to see change as an opportunity for growth. Change can be difficult, but it can also help us become stronger and wiser. For example, if you lose your job, it might be a chance to learn new skills or find a better career. If you go through a difficult time, it might help you develop resilience and empathy. The Stoics believe that challenges are not just obstacles, but teachers. They help us grow and become better people. When you face change, try to see the positive side. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow from it? This mindset can help you turn challenges into opportunities. Another important Stoic idea is to practice gratitude. When things change, it is easy to focus on what we have lost. But the Stoics remind us to appreciate what we still have. For example, if you lose your job, you might feel sad and worried. But you can also be grateful for your health, your family, and your skills. Gratitude helps us stay positive and grounded, even in difficult times. It shifts our focus from what is missing to what is still present. When you practice gratitude, you realize that even in times of change, there are still things to be thankful for. Stoicism also teaches us to live in the present moment. Change often brings fear of the future or regret about the past. But the Stoics believe that the only moment we truly have is the present. We cannot change the past, and we cannot predict the future. All we can do is focus on what is happening right now. For example, If you are worried about a big change in your life, try to focus on what you can do today. Take small steps to prepare for the future, but don't let fear take over. When you live in the present moment, you reduce anxiety and find peace. Another Stoic practice is to prepare for change. The Stoics believe that we should not be surprised by change because it is a normal part of life. They practice something called Premeditatio Malorum, which means the premeditation of evils. This means imagining the worst-case scenario and thinking about how you would handle it. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it happened. Would you look for a new job? Would you cut back on expenses? By preparing for change, you reduce fear and feel more confident. You realize that even in the worst-case scenario, you can still take action and find solutions. Stoicism also teaches us to be flexible. Change often requires us to adapt to new situations. The Stoics believe that we should be like water, which flows around obstacles and adapts to its surroundings. For example, if your plans are disrupted, try to find a new way forward. If your expectations are not met, adjust them. Flexibility helps us stay calm and creative in the face of change. It also helps us find new opportunities that we might have missed if we were too rigid. Finally, Stoicism reminds us that change is temporary. Nothing lasts forever, not even the hardest times. The Stoics believe that everything in life is cyclical. Just as the seasons change, so do our lives. When you are going through a difficult change, remind yourself that it will not last forever. This can give you hope and strength to keep going. At the same time, remember to appreciate the good times, because they are also temporary. This mindset helps us stay balanced and grateful, no matter what life brings. In conclusion, dealing with change the Stoic way means focusing on what you can control, accepting what you cannot control, and seeing change as an opportunity for growth. It means practicing gratitude, living in the present moment, preparing for change, being flexible, and remembering that change is temporary. These principles can help you stay calm and strong in the face of life's ups and downs. Change is not always easy, but it is a natural part of life. By embracing change and learning from it, you can become a wiser and more resilient person. Remember, you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond, and that is the key to a good life.